They do keep adding new features. And we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Designer Show on this lovely November 21st, 2025, which soon be 2026. Uh, Gotta tell you, the time is going way too fast. How you doing, Rene?
Good. You do the Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Got to do that.
At your house?
Yeah, I mean, we always used to do families up until, I don't know, half dozen years ago, things like that. It's just, uh, everybody's moved around so much. But yeah, we always have my gang here, and we have a nice time. How about you?
Yeah, I go to my sister's house. I was adopted by a Hispanic father, so we go to his house, and then I always complain that they stopped making tamales at Thanksgiving and went for making traditional Thanksgiving, and they're not good at it. They're not very good at it, if I'm not going to lie. So if you're watching,
No.
I want tamales.
Have you ever done a turkey on a Weber grill with charcoal?
No, I have not.
That's the best. If you cook it just right and don't overcook it, it really comes out nice. You take the big kettle grill, you put the charcoal on each side of it, you put the bird in the middle with a drip pan underneath it, close it. Depending on the weight of the bird, 2 to 3 hours, you got a done bird. You don't do anything. It's so easy. Yeah, but
I've seen all these memes and stuff where it's just like, why are we still cooking this really dry bird? Why is this tradition? The only reason we eat it is one time a year, because otherwise no one's going to eat it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
What's turkey on a green egg? I haven't heard that one.
Oh, that's the big green egg grills. I don't know if they're smoker grills or anything, but yeah, those are really nice too. So it's kind of like a.
How about you, John?
I'm good. How are you? What's that?
You do Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Our son-in-law from England is the one that cooked it last year, and we didn't get to taste it, so he's cooking it again this year. I guess everybody raved about it, about the turkey.
All right.
What do you mean he cooked it and you didn't get any?
We were in Florida.
Oh, you weren't in England?
Everybody was here, had Thanksgiving together, but we were in Florida and everybody was up here.
Up northern Minnesota, your house? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's always fun to get together. I love that day. It's just, you just kind of shut down. So anyway, welcome everyone to the Designer Show. See, we're getting a few people logging in here. Chad, Anthony.
I see. Albert, thank you. You're a new member. Appreciate it. Hope you're getting something good out of that. Don't forget to drop comments so I know what the heck you guys want to see.
Yeah, cool. All right. Today, we're open. I mean, this is a pretty open show today. So if you have chief questions, just raise your hand or post the question. We'd be happy to jump into that and cover it. But sometimes it's nice to mix up the topics a little bit. So today I thought, let's just see what everybody's feeling about the industry and what's going on. So that's kind of what I put that survey together for. If you're on the page that has the video on it, you should see at the top of the page, take the 2-minute survey, if you wouldn't mind doing that. It's really quick if you just go through it and not think too much. It's when you start thinking, it slows it down. And fill it out. We got 49 responses so far, so I was hoping to get up to about 100, but I only put it out yesterday, so I should have put it out a week ago, but my bad. But we'll keep it going, and we'll keep asking people to fill us in, and maybe next show we can talk about more of the responses. But I find it's kind of interesting. It's giving us some really interesting feedback. Rene, did you get a chance to look at the message I sent you, or you guys able to log in and look at the responses?
No, I have had, I don't know why, but I've had talk about business. I've had just a big influx of emails this last 2 weeks. So.
Oh, okay. That's good, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we like that. Business is why we're here.
What were we talking about?
The survey.
Something?
I sent you an email here about a half hour ago with
okay.
kind of highlighted some of the results from the survey, but we'll go through it, so don't worry about it. But anyway, if you filled it out, thank you. If you haven't filled it out, please go ahead and do it. Again, it just doesn't take long. You do it during the show here. And one of the questions in the survey, which I'll get to, is kind of, and part of the reason for this is to give us some fodder for future designer shows. And we've been doing this now for over 5 years. We're on show number 161. Is that what it is? That's kind of cool, actually, that we keep doing this. I know some of you love it. Thank you very much for attending. I mean, we do appreciate it. We do it for fun. We do it for marketing. We do it to give back to the industry. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why we do this. We don't make any money on it other than, if you hire us to do things. So, and again, we do appreciate that too. So we're here if you need us. I guess that's the bottom line. Quick commercial. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, wrong button.
Well, let's give him a prompt or something to get the chat rolling about today's show too. What we're just talking business, talking anything.
It's kind of anything.
Okay.
So by all means, just chime in with questions. Again, if you have chief questions, by all means. I'm going to go through the survey questions here in a little bit and show you guys the results. That may prompt some questions as well, or some comments. So by all means, please stay with it. But let me just head over to Chief Experts, and real quick, I'll couple of things coming up here. Get back to the home page. So we were going to do a class first week of December, and it's like I moved it to January. Not many people are signing up, and I look at my calendar. It's like it's the week after Thanksgiving. That was really stupid. Not a good time to set up a class. So anyway,
people are away from their work for two weeks, basically, by the time they get back. So
yeah. So it didn't dawn on me, because normally Thanksgiving is like the third week of November, not the last week of November. So this year it's later for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But anyway,
always the fourth Thursday.
Yeah, so in Minnesota here, we've got that coming up in January. Come down and you'll be indoors the whole time. It's a 5-minute shuttle ride from the airport, 10 minutes, I guess. And it's free shuttle, and you get to the hotel, you're there. If you want to go to the Mall of America or anything like that, which is all indoors and just gorgeous, beautiful, and come on down, and you can do that too.
Shuttles from the hotel for that too.
Yes, free. So, and again, 5-minute ride maybe. It's really close. So it's really a nice location, nice hotel, cheap rooms, nice hotel. That's the key, cheap rooms. So that's a good combination. And the people there are really nice. So we've been doing classes there for years. So John and I like doing that. Switched our mode of video now. We're not doing I bought 2 75-inch TVs. That worked great. It was really a nice way it's so nice to teach Chief on a big TV versus a projector. It's much clearer. You can see it easier. It's faster. Colors are better. I mean, just everything about it was great. So anyway, that's kind of cool. Anyway, check it out if you're interested. We'd love to have you there. And then
I like those TVs so much. I went and bought me a 65-inch for a monitor yesterday. I haven't set it up yet.
For a monitor?
For a monitor, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Put it 7 feet away from me.
Well, that's the 75 inches, 8 feet is the recommended distance.
Right.
So that worked well. And and by the way, Pro Academy is live. So some of you on this call are part of the Pro Academy. Thank you for being there. I'd love your feedback if you got any so far. We've had 5 live days so far since it's been live, since we've gone live with the new Pro Academy, and we've been having a ball. I've really been enjoying these live classes that we've been doing. And we go on 4 times a day, 4 sessions a day, twice a month. So you're going to get 8 classes, or 8 Q&A, 8 classes. We've even had some really great rabbit hole classes. I mean, we've been exploring things and having fun. So by all means, please check it out. It's $645 a year. You get access to everything, all the classes, or all of the live group meetings we have. You get all of the resources that are part of the Pro Academy, and it's a lot of content there. You get templates, you get keystrokes, you get a whole bunch of stuff, and we got a lot more things coming. So please check it out. Love to have you in the Pro Academy. John, and thanks. Yeah, it's been fun having you there. You do such a great job.
Thanks.
So keep it up.
Um,
By the way, guys, if you're looking for some training for yourself or for your company, give John, me, or Renee a call, or Kevin, or Robin, um, whoever you think you might feel most comfortable with. We'll come and help you do training for your company too. So we're all open to doing that. And be
so
sure to go ahead.
there's a comment that says, "Love to see you in New England." I'm wondering what city would be best for that comment
New England.
for a live class.
We're talking about out east here, right?
Out east, yep, New England.
Not England.
New England.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Although I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind going to England, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, let's talk about our survey. I see we got a few more responses. Again, thanks for doing that. If you've never used
Just in
Google,
case you missed it there, Dan doesn't actually recognize New England as part of the United States.
I don't.
I think he missed the new part.
Okay, I got a lot of things going on here. Tell me what I missed.
Nothing. I'm trolling you.
You were just confirming that I was talking about New England and not England, and Renee's picking on you.
Got it.
Which maybe it's a pick on Dan day, right, Renee?
Yeah.
I can handle it. Go ahead, bring it on, you guys. All right, let's talk about our little old survey that we did. I didn't ask for any information other than emails, so guys, thanks for putting that in. So it was 11 questions, nothing major. What best describes your role? And again, this is Google Forms, so you can go to Google Forms, set this up. It's super, super easy. So if you want to send a survey to your clients, to your subs, anybody, to get some feedback from them, this would be a great time to send a survey to your clients and say, "Hey, how's it going? You got any, I don't know. We should talk about that sometime. What would make a good survey?" Let's just run through this. And this is all part of the responses that come after the questions. So most we've had, again, 51 responses. Most of you are designers, architects. This was a multiple choice, pick as many as apply to you. So again, mostly in the design phase. I'm going to jump to the last question real quick because I'm going to put it in at the end. What age group are you in? All right. So we got mostly 62% of you guys are 61 and older. So again, you've been doing this a while. You know what's going on with your business. Again, thanks for sharing that information. Got a few younger than 31. 3 of them in the 3140. So
I'm surprised at that 3140. That's certainly new.
This one,
yeah.
Well, again, it's only 51 responses, right. So it would be nice if we had 500 responses. We could get a lot more out of that. This is one of the things about doing surveys. It's like, when people say, "Yeah, you got this response on this survey," or "This is how you're rated," or whatever. I mean, you want to ask the question, well, how many people did the survey? Where was it done? Who did it? Was it 10 people that answered the questions and 99 of them answered one thing? So you got a 90% approval rate or whatever. Surveys can be so weird, but you can also gather a lot of cool information out of them. So where you located? Someone added spots here. I'm not sure who did that. So I don't know if that was something was set up where people could add their own. I have to go look at that question. It was only these top 5 were the first ones. But you can see, it's pretty even mix all over the place. So that's not a big deal. What's your market size? I was just curious. Large, medium, small. When you talk to someone, a designer in a rural, smaller town, rural area, that's a hard word to say. Their comments are going to be different than people in a large city. Someone living in, Manhattan, New York versus, someone living in, Sleepy Eye, Minnesota, where I grew up, town of 3,500 people with a great farm economy. You're going to get different results. So,
yeah, and that in a big city, your market might be one suburb. Where I live, my market is 75-mile radius.
Yeah. Do you ever go into Canada, John? I mean, you're that close
I
to the border.
I did built a house right on the border.
And
Yeah.
half on one side, half on the other. How'd that work?
Right on the border, being like within a couple miles.
That's
Yeah.
a that's a joke when
Yeah. Yeah.
if the plane crashes on the border,
Where do you bury the
which side do
survivors?
you bury the survivors? Yeah. Um, some people have to think about that one for a minute. All right. Overall, how healthy does your local market feel right now? Um, Nobody's down here, and one being the worst, five being pretty good. So everybody's kind of in the middle, So that yeah. And again, it's one of those things. How do you know? We're all
And
kind
it's
of in our.
that's basically a normal market correction because we boomed during COVID. You know,
True,
so
true. We might have said that. Yeah, we're more toward the five than the
yeah,
three.
right.
So, but I'm glad to see it that people aren't feeling that it's really bad. Okay, a few people, six people are, or two people, no, six people. Yeah, not so good.
I
So
mean,
Yeah,
it
it'd be
just
interesting to know if there's some way to connect what market they're in that are feeling that,
yeah,
and how long they've been in business and things like that. If those are factors in that
true, true.
reality.
interest
And
rates.
again, yeah, there's so many different things in a survey like this. Yeah, exactly like you're saying, John. Who are the people that are answering these questions?
Yeah.
Uh, so we can just kind of go by overall and see where it goes. So overall, compared to 12 months ago, your leads and inquiries are up, way down, way up. So we've got, the green and purple are way up, or slightly up and way up. That's good, and about the same. So we're getting, a good 2/3, not quite 2/3, um, are okay. I mean, they're still hanging in there about where they've been. It's the ones that are down, way down or slightly down. Yeah, we might want to chat about why. Why are your leads down? Are you not marketing? Is the economy in your area just that bad? Is there more competition? I don't know. What other things could be affecting that? You guys have any comments on that?
Well, like for my area, if it's a place where people have second homes, like on the lakes and stuff like that, people might just be staying home more,
That's true.
not looking at coming north. I mean, a lot of my clients would have been are baby boomers, so they're aging out of that
That's true too.
market. So that could be part of
Yeah.
it too.
So what are the factors that affect those numbers?
Yep.
So that's always a challenge. Um, Compared to 12 months ago, your backline of work is way down. And again, I don't want to see that one, or slightly down. Same, pretty much the same as the other one. Your backlog is down. So I talked to someone commented here recently that um, they got 10 projects going and 10 in the works. So their backlog's way up there.
And,
Um,
and some questions I'd want to know on that one, I'd be good to ask are, is my backlog down because I caught up, or did my backlog go somewhere else, or you know, did
yeah,
the lead just go away because they found somebody else to do the work? You
good
know,
question. Yeah. How do we
so
know?
maybe nothing's really changed there other than more people are available now to get the work done.
Well, that could be. Or, as a situation like when I was doing construction, um, I was really good at working myself out of work because I'd get a few jobs. This is back many years ago when I was in my 20s. Um, and you get a job, you're going to go out and build it. You got work to do, right? And then you get near the end of the job and you start thinking, oh, where's my next job? And then all of a sudden, oh, I better get my marketing going again. So it took
Yep.
me a few years to get that figured out that, yeah, I should probably keep my marketing going all the time.
Yep.
And those of you out there that, rely on word of mouth for all of your marketing, that's cool that you can say that. But I would emphasize the fact that you should make sure your branding is, looking good and that you're getting the word out to your past clients so that they know that you're still there. And so you should be doing something to keep that, keep your name in front of people because people will forget.
Mm-hmm.
So, how confident you feel about your business in the next 12 months? Yeah, pretty mixed there. But again, we've got, yeah, so we got 52 responses. We got 9, 22, we got 31, about half, not a little more than half are feeling pretty confident about it. Some are just kind of in the middle, see what happens. And then a couple that are, 10 of them that are concerned. They're, it's not feeling too good about it. And again, so many factors will affect all of that. What are your top 2 concerns right now? This one, clients nervous about the economy and rates, interest rates. So that's a big one. And this one was, select the top 2 from the list that you're concerned about. And so secondary is rising material costs. And then we get down to too much work. I mean, people are not good leads and they're getting burned out. So that's not so cool. Not so much about rising labor costs, keeping good people and, the cash flow, getting paid on time. Those are, yeah. So it's economy. It's the big one that's on the news all the time. So and I don't know what do we do about that.
Maybe we should do a show again, having Jolene on, talking about finding good leads, how to generate good leads. And I was thinking about this before the show. Our friend Dan out in Maryland that puts on the class out there.
Yep.
I got on his mailing list, and I get stuff from him at least once a month that he's doing a class on educating homeowners.
Exactly.
Maybe we could get him to come on and talk about what he's doing to generate good leads.
No, that's a good idea. I mean, he has a nice office. He brings people in, I don't know what he serves, wine and cheese or something like that. And they just talk about different kinds of remodeling projects. I've got a guy in here in Minneapolis that does the same thing. They've got 4 different showrooms around the Twin Cities. And their market is more the medium income, older houses.
Right.
And so they're in highly populated areas, but they're marketing heavy to their past clients and future clients too about the classes that they do. And,
right. And it doesn't have to be a live class. It doesn't have to be a class at all. It could just be an email that you send out once a month.
Exactly. Just something to keep your name in front of your past clients.
Exactly.
And any potential future leads.
Yep.
So it works. I mean, I still remember back in the day when I was in business with my brother Doug, and this is back in the late 70s. We did we used to do fire remodeling, so we did this big project for this guy Frank and his wife, and Frank Hall, nice guy, older guy. Anyway, we did a nice job. We were great friends with him, and 5 years later, I'm driving past his house, and he put a new deck on the back of his house, and I stop in and say hi and say, "How come you didn't call us?" He says, "Oh, I forgot about you guys. Didn't know you did decks." Or it's like, there you.
Oops.
Yeah. So Rene, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What are you young people responding to as far as it comes to marketing? Do you respond to that kind of thing that we've been talking about, or is it something different?
The attention span people nowadays, just you got 5 seconds to sell someone in my generation and below.
Right.
Nowadays, that's a big thing. My approach is always, I'm no longer a design build, used to be. And so I have the opportunity to garner trust because I have no skin in the game, is the perception from any. So if I get a lead, this is talking about if I get a lead, I now have the opportunity to set their mind at ease about what it is to, if it's a first-time home buyer and it's a first-time remodeler, set their mind at ease about the financial aspect of it, about what this does to the equity of the home, the various different programs they have available to them. They can pull a HELIOC, they can, do whatever. And so I will talk about money with clients. I will say, how are you getting this funding? I will ask about, I've told you guys this before, but I've talked people out of a kitchen remodel to do an addition just to build equity into the house so that they could get the kitchen remodel later on. And so I have those conversations, and those conversations usually land people, like they feel like they have their feet on the ground finally. They have a better understanding of how this can all work and be easier for them. Whereas before, my generation, we're first-time home buyers, we're first-time remodelers. So we have all these questions that don't get answered. They really don't, and so if you have answers for that generation, that's awesome, because then we're not just sitting there assuming it's as bad as it was buying a home, where you thought you were done with all the deposits and all the payments and all the process and paperwork, and it just keeps hitting you because no one tells you that, maybe, right? So maybe there are a lot of questions, so you can be the question answerer in that regard.
Which you should be anyway. So
Yeah.
as a designer, that's your
I forget
goal.
the guy's name. I forget the guy's name, Dan. I think his first name's Dave, and he might be in your mastermind. But he did a program that I subscribed to years ago about being a property, not a property manager necessarily, but a property, somebody that you can talk to have a vision for your property for the next 2 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be Ed. He's he manages the project, not as he will come in at different. He'll either manage the whole project as a project manager, or he'll be a consultant for you to help you manage your project and all the people involved with it. So he gets involved in different ways.
This is what I'm talking about is a little bit different. It's something where you get you have a client that they have a piece of lakeshore property, and they have things that they want to do to develop it. So you become their advisor on what's the best way to go about this.
Right.
Over a period of 10 or even 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Luperg used to, he still does a book called The Emotional Homeowner. That's a book where he talks about, dealing with homeowners. And then he did have a program going to where he had a lot of information that would work for that. So I don't know if he still does that or not. But yeah, that's our job, educate those clients.
Anthony mentioned owner's advocate seems to be a niche market that needs to be filled in his area.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, when I go, this is all public information. You can pull comps in the area, so you can kind of get an idea of where the ceiling cap is for any project, and then, if the owner's dreaming big, then you get to say, hey, now you got to get your neighbors to think the same way, because you can lift a whole block altogether. I mean, there used to be the show on HGTV called Curb Appeal. You ever see that?
I don't think so.
The theory with Curb Appeal was, we're going to go spend a bunch of money on one house, but then we're going to spend just a very little amount of money on the 2 neighboring houses. And now we have lifted the value of 3 homes on a block. And over time, and through compounding and also just influence, the other neighbors will then go build on that block as well. And before you know it, the whole block's worth a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the underlying concepts are there. You can go see what kind of equity is in any house. You can go see, what the comps are in the area. You can get an idea for the area. If you show up, and all this is assuming you've already got a lead, so I'm skipping a step. But if you show up and you already have pretty educated knowledge about where you're building and where you're designing for, I mean, that really shows up to a client. They have more confidence in you. And it's not about this isn't a sales pitch thing. This is knowledge that's going to benefit everyone. So it does, in fact, feel very genuine that you have this knowledge and that you can have these conversations with people.
Yeah.
This is something that, this is Kevin. That's exactly what Kevin does. He wants to know you, right? In regards to getting leads, that's a different ball game. Do you guys use lead generation services, Jan? I mean, around here we have Angie's List, Yelp, House Pro.
I used them for a little while, and every single lead I got was over 75 miles away.
Yeah, not unqualified leads.
Right.
Yeah, checking up with past projects. I mean, that's a big one.
Networking with realtors. Yeah.
When I was in design build, we gave incentives in people's contracts to let us show their property 2 times after the project is done to new prospective clients. So we would give them a discount, or we would upgrade some install for them if they agreed to do that, at a future date. And I mean, that was huge, because then you take a new prospective client that, I mean, this is higher end residential, where they seriously have some concerns about your capabilities as a company, and then being able to walk them and tour them through a project that's complete and show them your work. That was an easy sell.
Yeah. Cool. I do have a guy I was just talking to the other day that's using Houzz for his marketing. He's been doing it for years, I guess. He's a subscriber. He pays $300 a month or something like that. But he said the return is fabulous. I mean, he gets a lot of work from Houzz. I haven't delved into Houzz since they came out. I mean, first few years they were just smoking hot way to get new leads.
It depends on where you live. Because I did the same thing for probably 3 years. I gave them $9,000 or better over 3 years. Never got one lead out of it.
Oh, ouch!
They don't advertise where we are.
That's smarted. Yeah. Wow.
So it all depends on where you live, if it's going to be successful with them or not.
Yeah, you'll live and learn, huh?
My company always did really well, and we always thought it was just that he had a tagline, and it was construction with integrity. And for some reason, I felt like that just was the difference maker.
Yeah. Anyway, well,
he still gets. He's 80 years old. He still gets leads, and he goes and sells them.
That's cool. Half the time if you just show up, you're going to get the job, because the other guys aren't going to show up.
We got to pin this comment from Paul.
Easiest way to build leads is do really good work.
Yeah,
you got it, bud.
You got it.
Yeah.
Chad, what did you say no way about? Can you clarify what you're talking about there, Chad?
I'm curious about that one too.
Yeah. Anyway, there was one question there where people could put in their own answer. What would help you feel more confident about the current economy? We got a kind of a good mix. Lower interest rates kind of stood out. Government, politics was on the list in a pretty big way. We had some, dumbass Donnie, and tariffs were on the list here. And again, that was covered in the question, that tariffs were that. So it's just, so much of this is what we see in the news, what we hear in the news, and what is going on really. So it's kind of,
Some of that I was talking to my daughter, one of my daughters the other day about this, and in a lot of ways where they're at right now isn't a whole lot different than it was in the early 80s when interest rates were 15%. And I was making $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a whole lot different. Sure, property was $90,000, but it was still way out of reach. I could never even dream if it would have stayed that way.
It's so easy to say, God, it's so easy to say, I should have bought that land back then, or bought that house back then. But I think about it, it's we're making a lot more money per hour now, or per with what we do, and put that relative to the price of where things are now, it's still just as tough to do those kinds of things. So yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying, John. It's tough all the way around. Anyway, this one was a good one too. What were the most, this was kind of a, loaded question to help us. What should we be talking to you guys about? Of course, if we're going to send a survey to a bunch of chief architect users, okay, well, we could maybe expected that you want to learn more about chief architect. So cool, we'll keep doing that. And again, if you want to really get deep into the program or want to learn it from scratch, come to Pro Academy. We can help you there. Finding design help. Well, actually, the second most popular answer was doing profitable design services. And again, what does that mean? What is profitable? If you're offering design services, as part of your remodeling company? Are you charging for your design services, and are you making enough money in your design services to make that a profit center? I mean, if you guys have been following me for a while now, you know I preach heavily about, yeah, it's got to be if you're in construction, your design has to be a profit center. It's one of
I
the,
never thought I'd be doing this because traditionally I'd made more money giving a bidded range, but I'm actually been working on that per hour lately um, because of the consistency of it. So
so it's
I
working for you.
guess the message that I'm saying is don't be afraid to switch things up if something might work better in
Or,
the interim.
or or mix and match. You know,
Yeah,
maybe do some projects you charge hourly for some projects.
yeah.
So yeah, that I'm mostly by the hour, but yeah, I do mix and match. You know, a lot of what I do is little bits and pieces of coaching and helping people with plans. So that's got to be an hourly rate.
But I'd be very curious to see how many people in these censuses have a really good grip on their numbers. Or are they a business where they're the owner and they don't necessarily do the books, so they don't necessarily know their historical data, or are these people, single sole propriety, single shop owner
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah,
and do their own books and know exactly their numbers?
yeah. I get plenty of clients that are, you know, contractors that have design departments, and that is a separate department that they expect to be profitable, and they're
Yeah.
tracking their costs on every project that they're designing as part of the job cost for that project.
Yeah, because
So
it's easy for me to switch up how I do things and know that the numbers are changing for the better
yeah,
or worse.
yeah. So over the years, you know, again, I kind of learned about charging design fees by accident back in the day, and once I started doing that, the way I did business changed dramatically. It was really cool. It was really a nice revelation for me, and I think some people still have that mindset that they got to give free estimates. And I'm always going to say you'll do a complimentary uh, consultation. Nothing's ever free, um, and that's about it. From that point on, you know, everything should have a charge attached to it.
Well, and it's certainly easier to do that when you're a design build. You're rolling it into a massive construction cost versus someone that's maybe only charging $2,000 for their services to do it, to design
Yeah,
a kitchen and stuff.
yeah,
I was also going to mention about getting better leads. This came up, and I don't want to say it before I forget it. But when I was a super, I'd go back, to all my projects, and we noticed one thing that made a huge difference, which was we kept the front of the project clean. We kept our trucks clean. We kept everything clean, and
Yep.
and as much as we could, we kept the noise down. Um, and then the other thing was I'd always walk the neighborhood, taking any calls I would have to take while before I go in and check. And I saw the neighbors, I'd say, hey, and I'm not much of an extrovert, tell the truth, but I'd say, hey, how's it going? Talk to the neighbors. And yeah, every once in a while we got a project with the neighbor.
yeah. That's the way to do it. Yeah, a clean job site. Not only is it good for the workers, but and good for the homeowners. It is one of your best marketing things that you can do. Because if you've got a dumpy, messed up job site, your work's going to be the same, right? So it's back to the old, you know, if you got coffee stains on the flip down tray on the airplane, how are they maintaining the engines? I mean, you kind of correlate the two together. So it doesn't build a lot of confidence.
I want to comment on
Yeah.
Anthony said hourly rate versus hard dollar bid is a hard sale to new clients, and I get that. What I actually approach them with is a retainer, and so they don't really see the hourly rate as much as they see the retainer. So the retainer is there, and it explains that 4 hour. They could do the math, but for some reason it doesn't correlate to this guy's charging so much per hour because they just see the retained amount.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a little bit different in the way I'm selling it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just say that way it puts you in control of how much money you're going to spend on this design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because they
I
can
also
come back to me. They can come back to me for 4 different designs, but they're the ones that control how much they're spending.
yeah.
Part of that gets back to, they want to have some idea how much it's going to cost. And you can then use if you got an hourly rate, you think it's going to take so many hours, or you could say, typically, architects charge 5 to 12% of the total cost of the project. You can start throwing out those kind of comments too, and they're accurate. So
yeah, I typically tell them, hey, for this type of project, this is the range you will probably fall within. And then it might go outside of that range if you are changing your mind a lot. So yeah, you're kind of in control of this process in that way. So
yes, exactly. So
yeah.
Cool. Fixed
Or,
price square foot.
or you say exactly what Mike's saying right there. Like, hey, we could do, a contract and there's the benefit of hourly and pin the other one.
And you could sell it that way too and say, once you're done with your 2 changes, it's hourly after that.
Right. Or you
in
could go to
control.
this. Right. And that's when we're, gonna keep you locked in.
In our area, 18 to 23. What? Aaron, you need to.
Good for you.
That's right. Well,
Wow.
you're in Carmel.
Yeah.
That's a little different. So, but that's a pretty big number when you get right down to it. So,
Yeah.
cool.
I
There you go, Aaron.
think what her fee also includes, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but you're doing part of that is actual project management. It's not just design and documents. I think she'd have to chime in.
Yeah. Chad, I'm incorporating service after design, quality control. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad, Chad, you're a contractor, right? You do the whole project, don't you? I believe.
Yeah, for those
Mike,
that are in this, that are watching this, that are designers only, getting linked in with a contractor, I mean, you'll know what happens. The contractor will actually say to you, hey, I really like working with you. Like, if you're doing a good job, that should be your experience.
So retaining your allotting for a certain number of hours, and beyond those hours, it's hourly rate. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a retained amount. It's a set fee for a set number of hours. Once you go past those hours, that's it. So
okay. So Aaron said yes. Chad says yes. Chad does do the whole project. So cool. Yeah,
I just want to make a comment when you were talking about the design being a profit center. The same holds true for when we were talking about a homeowner advocate or back when in the discussion before, that needs to be a profit center as well.
Yeah, exactly. So back to this for a sec here. Again, so profitable design services. Again, we just chatted that. Getting better leads. Standardizing workflows. I know, Rene, you're heavy into trying to standardize things, and you're doing a good job at that. And that is true. And, that's like when you're working with Chief and you're designing a project, you got a good template, you got details that are already drawn, you're just reusing them. What's your process that you'd use when you work with the client? How do you do your as-builts? There's so many moving parts going on in just the design phase, design / estimating / contract phase of the project. Having a standardized workflow makes a huge difference. And that'd be a really good topic actually to talk about.
Was this all individuals, or were any of these representing an office?
We don't know. I mean, it's for the whole survey. We got 54 people answering this. So, but that was an interesting one, standardizing workflows, which again, you think about it. Yeah. I work alone when I do design, so I don't have necessarily standard ways of doing it, even though I do. I just don't realize that I do. I haven't documented it. But yeah, I do the pretty much same thing every time I work on a project. What Aaron says. Then extra if they want me on site for site setup.
Do the comment before. That's what she's saying, the services she's providing.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Chief. Yeah. Aaron does have a lot of knowledge about what needs to be done in Carmel. Not an easy place to get a permit approved, is my understanding. So, and it takes a long time. Out east and out west, you've got those things going on in the bigger cities.
Yeah, I always say if you guys are over in Kansas or Arkansas or something like that, Napkinville, where you get to just sketch something on a piece of paper.
Northern Minnesota. Actually,
Yeah.
we don't even have to put in a plan. We just say, "Hey, I'm going to build a house." Okay.
Right.
And
Just
they'll
give me
say,
a call in 15 years when you guys finally catch up to our codes.
yeah.
And on
But
my particular piece of property, I don't even have to tell them I'm going to build anything. All I have to do is make sure my septic is up to snuff for what I'm going to do and build whatever I want.
Wasn't it Montana that just decided they're not going to even have a building department, that they'll have a building inspector and the rest of it's on you?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is where I live. I mean, they went from doing building permits in my county to doing land use permits. And the land use permits are only needed around the lakeshore areas.
Yeah.
I've heard this from many people in certain areas like San Francisco and then out east too. You got to apply just for the approval to apply for permission to do a project. So you got to give all this information up front just to get permission to do the plans and apply for a project. It's like a double whammy. It's like, okay. With retainers, you guys typically tailor the retainer amount to the specific project or have a set fee that covers a wide variety of projects?
I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Sure, go for it.
This is an ultra wide, so it might look a little funny. Let's see if we can
A
do it. This, what you're looking at here is it's going to look like gibberish, I guess. I don't even know why I shared this, but this is Cursor AI, and this is my favorite AI. I pay for it, and it has all these different contracts in a folder that I have it censusing, and so I get to go, hey, I am doing this kind of contract. It's covering this type of work, and I'm concerned about this. I just do voice to text, and it will look through all my contracts and combine verbiage from contract to create a new one. And then what you're seeing in green is what it edited. What you're seeing in red is what used to be there.
Okay.
And so you can, if you want to, you can come to that and say you want to keep it or undo it to take it back. So you actually get to see what the live edits were. It's not like it's just giving you something and you don't know what it actually changed.
So you can tell it that your client has white carpet everywhere, dust allergies, have knickknacks everywhere, tough location to get into, and it'll adjust your agreement to reflect those kinds of things.
Yeah, exactly. And I find that it works really well. And because I have maybe 5 or 6 main contracts for different scopes, it really covers everything I needed to cover. And then every once in a while I ask it, go look at this. Or is there any things that I might be missing that's not covering me? And then I'll review it. And oftentimes I will need to make the decision, you know what, this is getting to be a little too much for my clients.
Yeah.
You also want that piece of it. They shouldn't be scared off.
Tone it down a little bit.
My father and also one of my favorite contractors I worked for, they both did a table read of their contracts with their clients. They sat there and page by page and read it to their clients so that they understand what they're getting into, and also just give them the confidence that I'm not trying to pull one over on you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we used to do when we had contract signings. We'd go through everything, and I always did very detailed specifications. So you'd have to spend a lot of time going through that, make sure you had everything included, and then the verbiage on payments, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's always a lot of things to go through. Anthony here is just like it's from 60 miles out of DC, a napkin sketch. When you're in DC, at least 25 pages. So yeah. Difference.
So he needs to go market to that community.
Let's see. Like Will Rogers said, it's a good thing we don't get all of the government we pay for.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to sell copies of contracts?
You can call me. I'll write some contracts.
Yeah, there you go.
Someone go slap Mike on the wrist right now. Go slap him on the wrist.
Well, I'm guilty too. I don't use contracts.
No, I do it too. Absolutely.
Yeah, but again, I always get paid up front, and then we work off the time I have. So I'm not really at risk of losing any money. Although I have a few people have, it's kind of mutual agreement. Yeah, How many times have you done, 20 hours of work on a project, but you felt like you'd only charge for 10? Yeah, I've been there many times. So
I will say what changed it to making me put out more contracts. Well, I had a need to really show numbers for something I was doing in my house, refinancing stuff, but connect the dots, figure out what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
But that switched me to switching on. I use FreshBooks, and so when I write something to say, what the scope of work is that they're going to sign, that ends up being the invoice, and that also ends up being how it gets digitally paid for.
Yeah.
So I have contracts because it just makes it easier for me to get paid and me not think about it, because it all auto transfers. I don't even have to look at it. It automatically marks it as paid, automatically shows up in my accounts.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, Erin was talking about to me about this the other day, about her errors and omission insurance. If you don't have a written contract agreement/contract, what do you got to fall back on? So, Erin, you probably should get something together to make your insurance people happy.
I've got a custom cabinet builder friend of mine, and he got some new client that was referred to him, and right off the get-go, like, the guy hands him the check and says, "Okay, I need this in 23 days," and it's a massive cabinet project. And he's like, "What are you doing?" Well, no, I can't get it in 23 days. I'll try, I guess. And then suddenly he's like, "Why didn't you put in this light rail?" And he goes, "That's not in my scope of work. I'm not doing that." And the guy's trying to push him to do it. And I'm like, "All right, this is getting a little." Sends him a new contract. We really button the contract up because this guy's already been a bunch of red flags. And now all of a sudden he's like, the light rail got installed. He's about to deliver these cabinets and install them and be done with the job. And the guy goes, "Okay, I'll get you a check in 10 days because I haven't invoiced the client yet." And we're like, "Wait a minute. No. Way too many red flags." Like, I mean, you could just not get paid there, and it's a large job. So,
ouch.
I told him, go install the boxes, pull all the doors, keep the doors, and you're gonna have to come back.
There you go. Oh man. Anyway, Erin, is FreshBooks cloud only? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Paul is required. Yeah. Okay. Have a signed contract.
What is it saying? We are required to have.
Is that for design or construction?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be calling Rene shortly. Run from any client tries to throw money at you up front. Although Kevin had a great story once when a client was called someone. It was a super duper strong referral, and the woman was doing construction work, and he went over to look at some stuff to do some. That's back when he was contracting, and he was just telling her he's too busy right now. He can't work it in. And she said, "Well, if I give you 50,000, will that get you started?" He kind of said, "Yeah, we'll make it work." So I guess it turned out great. So, yeah, I guess in some cases money can move the ball a little bit if you need to. Great questions, you guys. Thank you for doing that. It's really fun when you guys are chatting on there. So anyway, the rest of the survey, we're gonna keep it out there. We'll kind of try to keep getting results, and maybe this will spur us to do some other things too. So if you guys have ideas on things you'd like to know about, let me know. I'd be happy to put something like this together and put it out for everybody. I think this is fun information. It's not fun information, it's necessary information, and it's just really neat to talk about and take a look at what's going on. So let's keep the fun rolling.
Let's see. Erin says, "I just sent you a text about contracts. You might have well just been saying something on the windiest day of the year. I don't see text at all. Shoot me an email.
Oh,
These guys know it. I don't see text. Thank you.
you don't turn your phone. You don't have your phone turned down all day long.
I can't deal with the number of notifications. I won't get any work done. The phone would just be buzzing all day. Like my sisters are all in these group chats, and they've always got me on them. Expensive non-cloud booking software. I don't know that one. I have to leave that.
I don't know.
It's going to be hard to find these days, I think.
Probably. I don't know if Intuit might have some that you can load on your computer yet. Possibly. I don't know.
QuickBooks used to be.
Yeah, but QuickBooks desktop now is so expensive. You got to get their super duper package. They're trying to get out of the desktop versions, but they have to keep it because they've got so many people using it.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so Aaron and Mike both talked about the Pro Academy being a blast, and people should join. It is a blast. We're having a great time.
It is a blast. Yeah, Mike, you've been great to have in there. You've got some really great questions and great challenges for us, which is always fun. That's what we like, a good challenge, you know. Bring it on, bring it on. And part of this the live classes that we do, and again, when I say we go down rabbit holes, part of going down a rabbit hole in Chief Architect is figuring things out, figuring out how it works and what's the best method to make that work. And it's really a lot of fun.
Mike told me several times that's the part he likes the best. Seeing where we go, what steps we go through to figure something out.
Exactly. And there's a process that for certain types of things, you just kind of go through processes and look at things. And part of that just comes from experience too, of just knowing where to look.
That's a good comment. I like that one.
Our pro chainsaw juggler.
I don't know, Dan. Mike, I didn't catch it the other day. Very good.
Oh yeah, you hung up on one.
At least you're not wearing any Band-Aids. That's the main thing.
No, it healed up pretty fast, but I still only got stubs.
Yeah. But no, it's fun.
What were you working on? Split foundations?
I don't remember.
Well, anything.
We covered a whole bunch of different things.
We came up with a way to if you're gonna make a custom deck with borders and stuff, with picture framed borders around the deck.
Yeah.
Copy all the deck boards. You have to copy them so that they'll stay.
No, you have to delete them.
What? No, you have to copy them first.
All we did was cut and then paste.
Right, but cutting copies and deletes it at the same time.
But when we just copied and pasted and we rebuilt the decking,
that's because you built the decking right on top of the other one. But anyway, you have to copy. You have to have a copy of it so that it doesn't rebuild automatically anymore.
Yes.
Then you can put that copy on a different layer and have 3 or 4 versions on different layers and turn the layer on and off.
Yes. And John, it wasn't copy because we tried copy and it always deleted itself. It was the cut and then pasted back in. Cutting it, the act of cutting
copy it and paste it back in. Yes.
The act of cutting it right now. The act of cutting the decking out of the plan to get rid of it and then pasting it back in removed the automatic function from that decking.
Exactly. Yep.
So
I didn't know you couldn't copy and paste wall framing members. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. I've been doing that for years.
No, I'm saying you can't. Not from one plan to another. It won't let you do it.
Well, no, they're always part of the wall itself.
Yeah, but I was surprised
you can't paste a stud from one wall to another.
So the rabbit hole I've been getting, there's 2, because Aaron said something here. Yes, that's one of them, and I'll show you that one. That is specifically, I've been doing making the metric versions.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Which is a
Is that a rabbit hole you wish you didn't go down?
That is a great experience. I recommend it.
Okay.
It's just awful. It's awful.
I do like drawing in metric. It's easy.
Do you? Okay.
Setting up a template in metric is another story.
Oh man, is it difficult? And there's just so much to it, but it's getting there. So that's cool. And then
Well, it's kind of like you're learning a foreign language and applying
Well,
it to chief.
it's not even the complexities of the metric part of it. It is just how many settings I've changed over the years. It's just staggering. And anyways, I have someone helping me on that who is Spanish speaking. So once the metric's done, then we're doing the metric Spanish versions.
There you go. Cool.
Which is that's a rabbit hole.
There you go.
The other one was I've been trying to figure out better methods to do these pole barns, and
What sense?
it's just not something I know intimately well. So
Oh, sure.
yeah,
How they're built.
Isn't it Shane Kitchen that
Shane, yeah,
there's a lot of pole barns?
yeah. One of his plans crossed my desk to stick it in the pro plan, take it from the template he used and stick it in the pro plan. And I was just checking it out. I was like, he's got a steel eye column, and then off of that they weld in flanges to pick up the purlins from the return wall. And I didn't even know that existed. So yeah, it's educational at
There's
least.
always something. Anyway, we're out of time, you
There's
guys.
a lot of manual stuff for that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Well, Chief's getting better at doing that pole barn kind of stuff. But anytime you get details, joist hangers, metal plating, you're going to do all that manually. It's just there's no automatics. That's not in Chief. Anyway, everybody, thanks for being here today. Kind of a crazy topic, but it was fun. We'll keep it going, and let us know if you need anything. We're here to help. So check out our classes. Check out the Pro Academy. Check out Rene's site. It's rabbitdesign.net. He's got all sorts of cool products that he's offering. If you need help, give John a call. He's always there to help with coaching and plan. John's got some team members that will help with plans. So please check us out. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everyone.